Hello, everybody. I am your host, Richard Prosser, and this is Stores Nation. Stores Nation is a show that talks about all things sports, and today we have a full plate talking about the national championship game, the Sam Darnold trade, and early Major League Baseball. I'm excited to welcome Jacob Sondik back to the show after his great showing last week. Jacob, how you doing today?
Pretty good, man. Feeling good.
I'm also very excited to welcome a new face to UConn and Stores Nation, Luke Tuzzola. Luke, how you doing?
I'm feeling good, Rich. Feeling good.
Happy to have you here, Luke. To begin, let's start talking about the national championship game. Baylor won convincingly, 86-70, hopping out to an early lead from the start and never letting go. Jacob, after watching a national championship game, does it diminish the season that Gonzaga had after they went 31-1 and losing the one big game?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they could have joined the ranks of teams that have gone all the way and had undefeated seasons. I mean, we haven't seen it since Indiana in 1976, and we keep getting teams that get close like them. And yeah, I mean, I think they shot all their bullets against UCLA. I mean, we'll talk about that more, but I mean, it was disappointing, and I think this team and Gonzaga fans will always remember it, but they're always going to be that team that just came up short and won every game besides the one that mattered the most. So.
And Luke, do you think that Suggs game winner that's going to be diminished because Gonzaga lost in that championship game?
Let me first say this. The Bulldogs team was one of the best college basketball teams I've ever watched. Their ability to create space with cuts and moving men off the ball, I mean, it was really, really impressive. They were highly disciplined and smart basketball players. They just knew exactly how to play together. In terms of the championship game, the Jalen Suggs shot was absolutely not diminished. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Bears are a really fantastic team, fantastic athletes, great coaching, everything. But this in no way hurts the legacy of what the Gonzaga Bulldogs were able to do this year. The shot will forever go down in history with, Christian Laettner, Chris Jenkins, all those guys that had buzzer beaters at the last second in the NCAA tournament. That's really it, man.
And for me, I'm just kind of disappointed. I was disappointed in the national championship game. And I was also disappointed that Gonzaga and Baylor wasn't able to play originally in the season. Their game got canceled due to COVID. And I feel like if they were able to play, we could have had a more competitive national championship game because then they would have known each other's tendencies. And also, I do feel like UCLA did wear them out. They went blow for blow with UCLA. And if they were able to cruise through like Baylor was against Houston, I think the national championship game would have been a little bit tighter. You could see some tired legs there. Moving on to the NFL, the New York Jets traded Sam Darnold for a 2021 sixth-round pick, a 2022 second-round pick, and a fourth-round pick. Luke, I know you're a huge Jets fan, and you were a huge Sam Darnold fan coming out of the draft. Do you think this was the right decision by the New York Jets?
The Jets absolutely made the right decision here. Not only does this give Sam Darnold a fresh new opportunity, but it allows Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh to really hit the reset clock in terms of a contract for a rookie quarterback. Sam Darnold really needed a change of scenery. That was apparent. And with the young coaches of Matt Rule, Joe Brady, I wish him nothing but the best, and I look forward to seeing him succeed. With the dynamic quarterback class of this year, it was hard for Joe Douglas not to move on. I'm really, really excited to see what he does with the draft capital he has and the foundational pieces he already has attained. One quarterback I would really, really keep my eyes on is Zach Wilson from BYU. I mean, I've seen the tape. He's instinctive. He's confident. I mean, he has doubters that say he plays in a weak division. He plays for BYU. Hardest team he played all year was Coastal Carolina. But to them, I say judge the player and not the situation, because really players can show all kind of characteristics, and it's hard to judge them against, it's not their choosing of who they play. And he has all the tools to succeed in the NFL. It just depends if he wants to use them or not. And if I were a betting man, I would absolutely be locked in on him being the second overall choice in this year's draft.
And Jacob, how would you grade the Jets trade? And do you think that Zach Wilson is a substantial upgrade over Sam Darnold?
I think it was a great trade for both sides. I mean, I think Carolina, they don't really know what they're – I mean, now that Darnold's going to be their guy, they were kind of hesitant on Bridgewater, his health. And so it worked out for them. But it worked out for the Jets also. I mean, they got a good amount back for Darnold, and they weren't going to – he wasn't going to be their quarterback anyway. So it was kind of good that they got anything back for him. And I don't know about Zach Wilson being. I think he's going to be really good. I agree with Luke's point. I think it was just an upgrade because like they wanted to get the taste of Adam Gase out, and while it wasn't his fault, Darnold kind of represented that. So I think this is, like he said, like a new chapter for the Jets because they want to be competitive again, and they have a great coach, and they're going to have a good quarterback at number 2. So I think it was a great move. I'd give it an A- B+. I mean, not much more you can say. I mean, good trade for both sides.
And is there any chance that the Jaguars could sneak up and get Zach Wilson, Jacob?
Oh God, I hope not. I think they have to just. I want the pick mailed in now. I mean, I think everyone knows Lawrence is coming to Duval, but still scary after seeing what they've done in the past. Hopefully not.
Well, for me as a Jets fan, I am excited. Joe Douglas is a genius. He has gotten a ton of draft capital. He was able to turn Jamal Adams and Sam Darnold into 2 first-round picks, a second-round pick, a 4th-round pick, and a 6th-round pick. That's crazy. Just 2 players that we're moving on from, 2 players that we don't have to pay. And he did great in last year's draft, drafting Malik Becton, Denzel Mims, Ashton Davis, Bryce Hall, all starters last year, all starters on the team. And I think that we are taking steps in the right direction for the Jets. Now I want to talk a little baseball, a little rapid fire here. I will tell you something that happened this weekend, and then I will get your quickest reaction to it. Let's start with you, Jacob. The Red Sox got swept by the Orioles. Will they have a 100-loss season?
Well, I'm going to say no quickly. I am happy they've shown up this week because they've made it easier for me to know that they won't lose 100 games. I mean, JD Martinez does what he does. I mean, he could get them closer to the playoffs than people think. So, no, they won't lose 100 games because they're the Red Sox. But look pretty bad this weekend.
Luke, the Yankees lost a series to the Blue Jays, averaging 2.5 runs a game. Will the Yankees offense be boom or bust this year?
I mean, looking at the history, the offense has been much more boom than bust. It's hard to doubt a team that can put up runs as quickly and this efficiently. And it's also a well-known fact that batters struggle much more in the beginning of the season than pitchers do. And with the last 2 combined games of, 7 runs each game against the Orioles, I have absolutely no worries. This team will be crushing the ball in early June.
Jacob, your main Mercedes, 12 for 18, 6 RBIs in his first 4 games. Will he be the AL Rookie of the Year?
I'll say yeah. The White Sox lineup's loaded, and he has a ton of protection, so no matter how much teams want to get him out, they have to worry about, the AL MVP, Jose Abreu. I mean, guy has 2 slams in, 5 games? So that lineup's loaded, and I think enough protection. I think he'll stay hot, so I'll go, yeah. I'll ride Mercedes right now.
Luke, on Sunday, Shohei Ohtani batted second and started for the Angels. In the first inning, he threw a pitch 100 miles an hour, and in the bottom of that first inning, he hit a home run 115 miles per hour. Is Shohei the most talented baseball player of all time?
I think it might be a little bit premature, a little bit of a stretch to call him the most talented baseball player of all time, but there's no denying his talent, his versatility. It reminds me a little bit of Little League baseball, and where if you were the best player on the team, you were probably the ace, you were probably the best hitter. He's an extremely talented baseball player with so much to offer the Angels. I'm really going to be interested to see how his season turns out. Is he going to be the first guy to be a batting title finalist and a Cy Young finalist? We'll have to see.
Jacob, Fernando Tatis injured his shoulder this week. He was put on the 10-day IL after signing a 13-year contract this offseason. Do injuries like this scare you from giving players big money for such a long amount of time?
Yeah, I mean, it's a source of concern when they go down. It's not something you're kind of blinded to it when you're signing the guys to this much money. And the Mets just signed Lindor to this much money. And yeah, I know he got hurt, but his contract is so long. Even if he misses a couple games here and there, I think it's going to end up being worth it. Hopefully he's not getting the surgery because, like they talked about, that would keep him out the rest of the year and give the Dodgers the NL West in April. But yeah, it's a little scary, a lot of money, but I think Tatis, it'll pay off for the Padres eventually.
And finally, Luke, the Mets and Nationals series got postponed this weekend due to COVID protocols in the Nationals program. Is this any case for concern for baseball moving forward, or do you think they'll be able to march through like last year?
In my opinion, I really believe in the COVID protocol system. I mean, with the future looking bright with vaccine distribution and, less cases, I have no doubt the season will continue as planned and move smoothly through the summer months and into the fall. The only way really I see teams strictly following the protocol is with punishment, the loss of draft picks or, a big fine. So if teams really want to continue to play baseball, they're going to have to take it seriously.
And that was a really fun baseball rapid fire. And that is going to be all for Stors Nation today. I want to thank you again, Luke and Jacob, for joining me, and I cannot wait for next week's show.